Hello, weight loss family of YouTube. I'm coming at you today with a long overdue introduction. Um, I'm about 6 months into my journey now, so I've been watching you guys for that long and longer. I've always wanted to do videos, but I'm kind of a shy person and not really comfortable with my appearance, so I've really held off up to this point. But I've decided to finally post something and post some in the future because I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to need your support. I'm 6 months out and I've been doing well with weight loss, but in terms of life progress and making use of the weight that I've lost and getting out there and doing things and being more sociable and all this stuff, I really haven't been successful in that part. All those walls that we build up, being overweight, most of our lives, and people sometimes they don't react to you very well, so you tend to shy away from them, and all these things cause you to just shut people out of your life, and you become isolated. And I've even though my weight is a lot less, and I feel better about myself and my appearance, all those walls and all those hang-ups that I've developed over the past decades, they're still there, and I need to work through them. So hopefully you guys can help me out with that in the future. The second reason I wanted to post a little introduction to you is because you've all become a pretty large part of my life, and you're not aware of it, of course, other than a few views on your videos. But I probably watch YouTube videos on weight loss probably upwards of 2 hours a day. I like to watch you guys when I'm doing my my treadmills in the morning. I sometimes watch a couple of videos at lunch, and even when I go to bed and can't really sleep, I just pull out my phone and I'll watch a couple of videos. And I've taken in so much from you guys that I would like to spend a little time and at least let you know something about me. I'm watching your videos, and you guys share some pretty intimate and sometimes heavy, often lighthearted, and just progress reports and all this stuff, and all of it has just been incredibly helpful. So I wanted to do a video and tell you a little bit about myself, and maybe bring up some topics later on in future videos that we can all talk about, and just generally get a conversation going, because I need that in my life. And it's sort of a thank you to you and to other people in the community to just have that out there. I'm grateful for it. I'm sure other people are grateful for it, so more the better, right? So where do I start? Well, first I start with a drink, because I'm already getting hoarse. Arizona iced tea is my favorite beverage of choice at the moment. Let's first start with the surgery, just so you know. I had my surgery, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, through the McGill University Health Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I had the actual surgery at the Lachine Hospital with Dr. Oliver Court and the lovely lovely Dr. Mueller, who was assisting. And it was an overall pretty good experience there at the Lachine Hospital. And my progress and all the preliminary stuff was all done at the Royal Victoria Hospital. So if there's any fellow Quebecers out there who want to contact me and talk about these places and the people, I'd be more than happy to. It's been great, and it's a good group there. Not as thorough as some, but it's an overall good group. So I had my vertical sleeve surgery on April 2nd. Everything went pretty well. I didn't have any complications. Surgery took, I don't know how long. I was out for quite a while, but they said there was no major problems. And at that time of the surgery, I was 350 pounds. Prior to the surgery, I had to do a 2-week pre-op diet, which was the OptiFast 900 diet. and I did that for 2 weeks. At the start of my pre-op, I was 366. And when I got the process started, like my last meeting with the doctor, I think it was in the fall of 2012, so like November, December, somewhere around there. That's when I did sort of my initial weigh-in and filled out my applications and all that kind of stuff. I was at 376. So that's what if you follow me on MyFitnessPal or see me on Obesity Help or all the other sites and you see my tickers, that 376 I've sort of taken as my start point, because at that point, I mean, the doctor told me that, as much as I could lose before surgery, even though it was probably, 3 months, 6 months ahead, the more I could lose, the better. So, I mean, I started right then, doing the best I could on my own without surgery, just limiting quantities and, just trying to keep everything at least from escalating. And if I could lose a few pounds, it was great. And, a testament to my efforts, I did lose 10 pounds, but 10 pounds over, what is that, 6 months? It's not very huge. But because, I couldn't be as strict as I am now with my VSG because, even though I want to keep portions small, I mean, stuff like pasta or pizza or all these things, I mean, the quantity that you should eat and the quantity that you can eat is, like, huge. So, I fell short on keeping the portions low, and, I still binged during that time, once or twice a week, I'd have, like, a bag of chips or, something, a poutine or something silly like that I probably shouldn't have had. So, I mean, I probably could have done a little bit better, but it was the best I could do without having, like, a real goal to go for. But that wasn't my high weight. My high weight was 407, and that was back in, I think, 2005. I had to go into the hospital for a liver condition, which I'll talk about in another video. And, I went in there and they weighed me, and I was 407 pounds, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot. And they offered me right then, they said, maybe you should think about weight loss surgery in the future. And I was like, no, I mean, I've got my liver problems going on, and I've got enough to worry about right now. And, they said that kind of made sense. So it took me many years, 2005 to 2012, to decide that I actually wanted to have the surgery. And I had the referral from my gastroenterologist for about 5 years. Seriously, like a long time. So, I thought about it, and I did a lot of research, sort of in spurts. Like, I would do research for a few months, and then, okay, I'll just forget about it for 6 months because something else was occupying my time. And anyway, finally got the surgery done. Everything went well. And now I am 6 months out from my pre-op, so 5.5 months from my operation, and I'm down a total of 126 pounds. So that's very good, 126 pounds in about 6 months. So I think that's a pretty good result, and I'm pretty strict with it. I track everything on MyFitnessPal, and I encourage you to, friend me there and follow me, and we can encourage each other there, because that sort of daily feedback I think it's really important, even if it's just a good job or how you're doing and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of big, and I forgot to actually shut down my Facebook here, so you hear it going off. So there, I've got it off now. So my diet's pretty simple. I try and keep my calories between 750, 800 at the max. My protein goal for the day is something like 85 grams. Right now, my goal was higher before, because obviously I was, over 100 pounds heavier before, so I needed more protein to sustain my body at that point. So 85 grams is about right for the weight that I'm at now. And where am I now? Well, good news. I finally crossed the 250 pound mark this week. So I'm I'm about 5'9". Well, I was 5'10", but we'll talk about that at another time. So, I mean, that's great. I mean, like Sarah and TJ and all these other people have talked about recently, 250 pounds is sort of, you're entering the realm of an acceptable weight for somebody. Like, this is what everything is built for. I mean, between chairs and lifts and walking through, the terminals at the subway, and all of the things are sort of designed for people that are 250 pounds or less. So I'm glad to finally be in that range. But I mean, that still puts my BMI at, I think, about 37, which is where a lot of people start this journey. So yeah. So, I mean, it's going well. My initial goal is 200. I mean, if I can get to 200, I would be very happy. I think that's a good size for me. I feel comfortable in that, and I think, I'd still be kind of beefy, and but that's okay. I can deal with that. I mean, with all the skin issues that I'm gonna have, I'm sort of worried about going too low, because it would look a little bit weird on me. But we'll see. I mean, I definitely have a lot of room to go. I think my ideal body weight is something like 169 or something like that. So, I'd like to get to 200 minimum, and I hope to overshoot that a little bit, and then change my diet up a bit and put on some muscles where I want it. And if I can get 20 pounds of muscle on there, I mean, I'll be pretty good. That's my ultimate goal. I don't know how realistic that is, but we'll see. So what else can I tell you? Well, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 40 years old, soon to be 41. I was born here in Quebec. Let's see. I've spent most of my life in academia. I did my bachelor's in geology and environmental sciences at McGill University, and I continued that into a master's there in the same field. It was actually aqueous geochemistry was the particular field that I was in. And from there I went to the University of Notre Dame in Indiana, and I did my PhD there, further specializing my sort of field into biogeochemistry. So if you have any idea what that is, more power to you. But I mean, it's just how contaminants move in the environment and things like that. An environmental approach, but I was more on the theoretical research scientist sort of side of things. So I finished my PhD, I think, in 2002, and I had great experience there. I mean, I got to travel a few places in the world, and I was able to do a few stage. I don't know what the correct term for it is, but little long-term placement at other research institutes that sort of expand my knowledge. I get to see how other people do things, and I'm not telling you all this to brag and say, oh, I'm a PhD and everything, but I think it's not really, when someone has a PhD, it's not really a testament to their intelligence as much as a testament to their persistence and their quest for knowledge. And I think that has really benefited me in my weight loss journey, because there's a lot of conflicting information out there, and about what you should do and what you should eat, and what your goals should be, and all of these things. It's a real mess. So, I mean, I tend to, when I see a topic that I'm interested in, I tend to go in and I dig as deep as I can, and I'll actually look at the actual research articles, and they make sense to me, and I can judge how important the article is and how thoroughly it was done, because I mean, I spent my life in science, and medicine, it's not really that far apart. So yeah, I worked as a research scientist for a few years at Northwestern and at Argonne National Laboratory in Illinois. And then I started to get a little sick. My liver was failing. I have autoimmune hepatitis. Don't freak out because I said hepatitis. It's not viral. It's not. Hepatitis is just inflammation of the liver, and the cause of my inflammation was my immune system. Treacherous thing that it is, it decided that my liver was a foreign body, so it started to attack it. So, not a good situation. So I was in the hospital there for probably a month after I was diagnosed. But even for years before that, I'll talk about all this later. But it put me out of work basically, and I've basically spent the last 7 or so years recovering from that. I haven't been able to work. I still call myself a research scientist, even though I haven't for a long time. And I don't really expect to get back into it, but I'll find something of interest, hopefully soon, next year or two. Yeah, so that's me. I'm a pretty laid-back guy. I don't get out that much. I'm a homebody. I'm a little bit introverted, but I like to read, and I play video games, and watch TV and movies, and play cards, and whatever I can to just entertain myself. So, anyway, again, thanks to everyone for putting out your videos. Really helpful. I love them. A lot of you guys are pretty entertaining and very prolific with your videos, and I'm grateful for that. And yeah, I have some ideas for some future videos, so there'll definitely be more coming. And I'm going to have one right after this with my little workout routine as well that I did earlier today. So, yeah, that's all. See you guys later. I'll try and do some weigh-ins too. I don't know if I'll do it every week, but Wednesday is my weigh-in day, so look for Wednesdays. Thumbs up to encourage me, and don't thumbs down because it's rude. Anyway, that's all. Goodbye.